After about 38 hours with Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, I walked away feeling really satisfied, but also like I wasn't quite ready for it to end. Despite its reputation for being one of the slower and longer games in the series, I actually found it to be a surprisingly comfortable RPG to play through, especially thanks to a lot of quality of life features that make the experience much smoother. But it's also a game that can feel very repetitive, especially around the middle. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined is a classic turn-based JRPG built around restoring a broken world. You travel between the past and future, collecting fragments that unlock new islands. Each island has its own story, and after resolving it in the past, you return to the present to see how your actions change the world. The structure ends up feeling almost like a collection of mini RPG stories that slowly connect together. The individual island stories are interesting, but by the end, they kinda blend together. What I did like is how they eventually connect in subtle ways, slowly revealing more about what happened to the world. The game never really hit me emotionally, but I enjoyed the mystery of piecing the world back together. Combat is very traditional turn-based Dragon Quest. It can get repetitive, but I actually didn't mind it much because the game has a really good auto-battle system. I ended up using that a lot, which made long dungeon crawls much smoother. The job system ended up being one of my favorite parts. Grinding jobs wasn't nearly as bad as I expected. Toward the end of the game, I spent a few hours in the final dungeon leveling jobs, and that was enough to get the builds I wanted for everyone. Two things made this much easier: auto battle and the whistle feature that quickly starts encounters. Those quality of life systems make experimenting with jobs feel much less tedious. Most of the bosses were pretty easy, but the final boss was definitely the standout. It had multiple phases and actually caught me off guard with its difficulty at first. That ended up being the most memorable fight in the game. The slow start didn't bother me at all, but the game does drag in the middle. A lot of the structure becomes visit an island in the past, solve the problem, return to the future, re-explore the same locations. After a while, that loop can start to feel repetitive. Fragment hunting is something I expected to hate, but it actually never felt tedious. Most of the fragments were found naturally while exploring. I almost never felt like I had to go out of my way to search for them. The music is fantastic, which is pretty much what you'd expect from a Dragon Quest game. I wasn't a huge fan of most of the character designs though. Ruff was probably my favorite design out of the main cast. That said, the world itself looks great, and exploring each island was always visually interesting. For me, the biggest strength is how relaxing and approachable the game feels. Between the auto battle system, the job progression, and the episodic storytelling, it's a really comfortable RPG to play through. The biggest downside is definitely repetition, especially in the middle portion of the game when you're revisiting areas in both the past and the future. I actually think this is a great entry point into the Dragon Quest series. It's especially good for people curious about classic JRPGs, returning Dragon Quest fans, and players who enjoy slower, exploration-focused RPGs. But players looking for a challenging RPG might find it too easy, and people who hate repetition might get bored. Overall, Dragon Quest VII ended up being a really enjoyable experience for me. Even though the pacing can drag in places, the job system, exploration, and gradual world building made it feel worth the journey. And by the time it ended, I wasn't ready to leave the world yet. There is post-game stuff that I haven't dug into yet, but I'm looking forward to that. I've heard that's where the difficulty really lies, but I didn't mind playing an easier game. If you like the video, press the like. If you want to see more of me, subscribe. I cover cozy games, RPGs, and visual novels. Bye guys!